Mm. Welcome to this random talk of mine. I'm going to talk about random things. So, when I was a kid, I was never really good at studying, and but at that time nobody knew, right? Of course, I just looked like just had more fun doing other things like running around and just fooling around. Then my older brother, who was 5 years older than me at that time, he was into academics kind of. He was smart. He was not that he was into academies, but he was smart. So I remember he went into spelling bee competitions, and then he did really well, and he was asked to go for the Delhi round, and uh, then he just picked up, was it chess? I can't remember, but yeah, he picked up chess really well as well, and he was asked to play competitions, but then he played some, then he said, nah, I'm cool and stuff. So I think my parents were kind of influenced by that, and they tried to push me into academic kind of hobbies, but they soon realized that I'm not very interested in it. At that time, my grandmother used to make me study really hard. My parents as well. They had to try really, really hard to get that basics of addition, subtraction, basic of alphabets, basic of Hindi alphabets, just down in my head. It was like a rigorous training for me. And through that, I cleared like the first round of spelling bee competition, and I didn't care honestly. And then I went in, I got humbled real bad during the during the competition, and then I came back home crying so much. I still remember it. I was 7 at that time, so it's not like it was a difficult exam. It's just enough for a seventh grade, 7-year old to feel scared. And since I was also born with like not great health, my parents just focused more on sports for me so that I could develop my breathing and stamina and just regular things so that I wouldn't fall sick often. The one of the major sports they put me in first was swimming. Swimming when at that time when I was 6 or 7, I was so scared of water, so scared. I would cry, I would throw up, and I would I would have to be beaten up every day to be taken to the pool and stuff. So we took a gap a little bit. I tried on other sports. I tried badminton. I picked up badminton really well as well, and it was one of my favorite sports. It is one of my favorite sports. And then throughout that time, I picked up a lot of art hobbies as well because my family somehow thought that I might be into art since I had a natural flair for writing, but turns out I don't. I was so bad at art that I just stuck onto sports. Throughout my childhood, I think I've played ten- tennis, I've played table tennis, and just, running. So, like, in school, 100 meters, 200 meters, I used to be in that quite a lot. I've been, very few students get the opportunity to be in part of the sports day, in the running competitions. But I think I've been in that for 4 times at least in 10 years of my life. So that's pretty good. And even if I wasn't a part of that, I was part of something else. So from school, our school was not very sports oriented, it was more academics oriented. So they had, in a higher secondary, they had opportunities for MUNs. They had kind of spell bee knowledge test, history test, politics test, or something like those kind of competitions. And it was never my kind of thing, and I didn't have the enough knowledge at that time because I didn't used to read enough on anything. I'm sure it wasn't a big deal, but I still don't have that much knowledge to even participate in a 6th grade competition related to academics. I just don't. It's just not my kind of thing. But I remember when I was in 6th, school had this opportunity for students to learn football from Nike volunteers or something like that. And I went in for 2 years, and it was so fun. Every day before school, I would go, and then we would take a bath under the sprinkler in the on the football ground. The whole we just trench entire from top to bottom, all the clothes, and then we would push around, be like, "I want the water, you move away." And then we would go back to changing rooms, boys and girls separate, of course, and then we would take a bath, change our clothes, change into uniforms, and then go to school with dripping water from our head. Crazy times, I swear. uh, yeah, at that time I remember I was very bad at academics, like real bad, that my family had was really concerned, but oh, that's a story for another time. So from there on, oh yeah, it was in sixth grade, I think, that I played for a table tennis competition, and I won a medal and a prize. And then I think it was later in 11th or 12th grade that I got chosen for to play for the sports team, the girls sports team of Podar, but I never went. I was like, I can't be bothered. I just came in just so that I can play a little bit and have fun. And then I went back home. Basically. And yeah, I've been playing badminton from on and off ever since I was a kid. And then swimming, I really got into swimming when I was in seventh grade. I had so much fun. I went in every single day. I think 3 years I swam like every single day. I love swimming. Like, if I had to choose between badminton and swimming to be one of my top sports, I can't choose. Badminton is fun, but I'm not that good at badminton. With swimming, I'm really good at swimming. But the problem with swimming is it's not a social sport. And you're just swimming and you're doing your own thing. You're doing your own laps, you're counting on your own head, and you're resting and meditating. It's a good thing for me as an introvert, but to have badminton, it's like real understanding, teamwork, kind of socializing, and that is my thing. I like that. But unfortunately, I'm not very good at badminton. I play like medium good, but not like good, really good to represent the school or something like that. No, 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 no. I just play, win, lose, something like that. Mm, so my school life was just went on like that with no academic experience, no societies or anything. I was just really bored because after, I think, primary, like after sixth, seventh grade, my sports started to decline, and the school was promoting more of academic competitions and stuff, and I didn't know what to do. So, and there was no competition or society or anything that I could be a part of. Now that I think of it, we had some societies in 11th and 12th, but it was boring. I just joined some debate society, and I did nothing. I used to just sit and listen to two sides debating because I had no knowledge about it. Yeah, the societies were academic as well, so we couldn't do anything. Sometimes we'd watch movies. That was nice, but yeah, when I joined in till 12th, I was in school. So after 12th, I decided I want to do something now. I want to do something now because I've done nothing and I want to make more friends. I want to socialize. I want to have fun. But at the same time, my first criteria was I don't want to I don't want to join anything academic. We had a sports room in our university. Unfortunately, my university as well had very limited opportunity for sports. So they had a room. It had one table tennis table, and they had one chessboard. What else did they have? I think they had one carom as well, and it was always either closed, or when it was open for the few times, it was always occupied by those uh, by the students who are representing the school or representing the state or something like that. They would always be playing, and then they would play so well that it feels weird to ask for their racket, because I believe our university didn't even have a spare racket or a spare ball. They should get their own and then train. It was a training session for them. It was not a play session. It was not open to general people like us. Even though I can play really well, I can play quite well, but still, it was not open to people like us. That was the sad part of my university as well. And so, I had two options. I either join NCC or either join NSS. Now, if you know, NCC is Cadet Corps and NSS is Social Service. My first choice was I want to do NCC. It looks fun, you know, you wear a nice uniform and stuff. But the first day I went in, my health was so bad that the few years that I fainted and the instructor had to drop me home. So I decided I have to do something. I'll just stick around with NSS now. The good thing with NSS is it progressed quite quickly. I remember I joined in July 14th, 15th. They had the first event called Tree Plantation. And then immediately after that, by the end of the month, I had the leader asking me that, oh, do you want to go for this um, camp for the volunteers, and then you become the next day leaders. By that, I was kind of surprised. 2 weeks, and I've been only to like 2 or 3 events, and then you want to send me already, and want to choose the next year leaders. That's how I became the next year leader somehow. It makes no sense, but I really don't know how that happened. It's just that I had no friends, so I really wanted to make friends. And you know, lectures are not my kind of thing. I don't like to pay attention, and I don't like to talk to people in my class. So I did what the only thing I could do was, you know, just go down to the cubicle and spend time there all the time because I want to make friends. I desperately want to make friends, okay, but I don't know what to do, and there's nothing else for me to do. That worked out well. Then in my unfortunately we had the COVID in my second year, and I don't know if that was a good thing or not because socially it was very bad for me, of course, but I can't complain much because people suffered in that time, and it is just fine for me. My university experience does not is not that important, but it did a good thing for me for in related to academics because towards the end of my second year I kind of realized that I'm studying a degree that I don't have that much interest in, and there's no I did a few internships and stuff like that, not like internships, but I looked around on internshala what I can do right now. And then they had HR, they had sales, they had marketing and stuff, so I did like 1 day projects for them, and I didn't like it at all. Like I hated it so much that the moment I they trained me and asked me to do the work, I switched off my phone and I said, whatever, it's just 1 day. I just say that I slept the entire day or something. Yeah, so after that, towards the end of my second year, I started feeling very lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't like the subjects that I was studying, and then the third year began. I started feeling entirely hopeless, entirely lost. There was no reason for me to go back to uni because there was no NSS anymore. And then the lectures were so boring as well, and couldn't be bothered. There was no reason to socialize, there was no reason to attend the lectures. What am I supposed to do? I'd rather just stay at home, sleep, and you know, just be sad myself. I had to do something. Everyone is getting concerned because it was my third year. So this my family said, you should prepare for management, do the CAT exam. Anything that you learn will be very useful for you. I believe that. I really believe that. So I started studying. But the thing is, I, I the thing is, I felt so hopeless the entire time that even when I was studying, I had no real goal. And I knew that I didn't want to do management CAT, but my family was kind of expecting me that if I clear this paper, I'll start doing management. But it was just not my kind of thing, and I didn't put in my 100% effort as well. I was just studying for the sake of studying for CAT. And obviously I cleared it. I got like a decent low score. And I was like completely chill about it. But then it's really hit me then. I started feeling more hopeless because I didn't have anything to do. Fortunately for me, it was that time when I joined the gym as well. So it was like an on and off thing for me. I would come back, then I went on some trip, but then I was like hopeless the entire time because I didn't know what to do. But yeah, then I had to do my semester exam. Like I just had to get done with this. So I got done with it. But gym was like my focused at that time, something that I could do, so that this everyday thing doesn't become like too much for me. And so I guess throughout that time, in my third year, I kind of realized that there's nothing for me to do in this degree. There's nothing for me to do in this career itself. And I don't know where exactly to move on. So I started looking for postgraduate study opportunities. And at that time, I really wanted to go abroad and live by myself. I was actually, I had no reason to come to London, but I just wanted the experience and I wanted to get away for some time. So I just kept looking and looking, and I had a fair clue of idea that I liked economics, because throughout my third year I just kind of liked this one subject, and I kept reading more and more onto it. But it's not like I loved economics, but I knew that I didn't want to do anything that has math kind of economics. So those mm, those management side of things and economic side of things just ruled out for me. I kept looking for economics kind of degrees, mixed kind of degrees, and then I found this one, law and economics. At that time, when I read the description, it looked very nice to me that you apply your economics to the law, and it's not very mathematic based as well. So I went for it. But at that time, I did not know that I have to choose my modules as well. So the modules you can choose will be anything, can be economics, more economics based, or can be more law based. But the first semester that I did with economics and law, I realized I didn't like it at all. I mean, it was a good subject, it was very nice to study, but the thing is, the economics kind of put me off, and the law was really nice. So I ended up taking all of my optional modules that I had to choose in law, and now here's I am stuck. So I'm trying to make most use of my university life as well, by doing sports and activities that I never had the opportunity to do back then, and socialize a bit as well. But the thing is, I need to make my career in law. Which side of law, you might ask? Since I have not done a proper law degree, I don't want to get into like real heavy content law. And since I'm still interested in business and want to be related to business kind of law, I really want to get into corporate law. Maybe transactional law as well. I think it's almost the same thing, but M&A mergers. M&A mergers is the same thing. Mergers and acquisition, due diligence and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get into corporate law right now. And the thing is, I need some kind of experience. I have some kind of experience here, but the problem is my personality isn't that great, isn't that very outspoken and well spoken as well. So there's the need to develop that as well. Mm, that's how it is going right now. With sports, with careers, with academics, eh, it just goes off out. And then I'm also trying to do my side things, like recording this. I want to learn editing after this, and then I'm trying trying to come up with business ideas and stuff as well, because it sounds fun. If you do a services if you do a service business idea, then it's pretty viable and it's doable as well. But the thing with product businesses, it gets a little complicated, and especially if it gets large scale, which is, I don't know. But the thing is, with product businesses, the manufacturing is one thing. How are you going to make the product, and then how are you going to manage the cost of production and stuff. With services, it's pretty simple. You can get customer advice, I could say. Like, do you want to buy this later? Are you ready to pay me for this? And it's pretty easy for you to create it as well if you have the skills. But the thing is, I don't have any skills in computer is not my kind of thing. And to learn it as well, to learn it without having a hobby or an interest in it, It's very difficult for me to do that. To run towards something, I need to have a clear goal and a clear aim. Only then I can do that. So, like video editing as well. I, I, I'm not that interested in it, but I want to upload my stuff that I'm doing. So, it makes sense for me to learn it. And when I think of the the process and the result, and then I'm like, okay, it sounds fun. It's the same thing with music production as well. So I'm into music, but thing is, I've never been able to make anything because I don't have my foundations in music. Because so far I've only done sports. But I'm learning it right now. Problem with music as well is I don't one. There's one thing that I don't have my clear foundations, but the other thing is the software itself is so complicated to use. But when I think of it, that if I get my basics down, then the software is just a medium to help me, and that makes me very interested to learn the software. You get it? That's the thing. So I'm interested. So music production, video editing, that's like the two things I'm into right now. But I still have to get started with it, so they're on hold since they are my hobbies. But right now I have to focus more on my career. Yeah, that was a very long talk. 21 minutes? Hell nah.